So, you know, seeing a lot of these videos talking about this critical race theory BS, and it's crazy because, what is critical race theory? You know what I'm saying? What is critical race theory? It really is crazy. And, for these, for the most part, right? The pros are European Americans, right? Caucasians, right? For the most part, they're pro critical race theory, out of here type of ordeal. And then for the other part, you see, for the majority of, black and Hispanics, you know, are anti critical race theory. They're trying to keep uh, the somewhat history, distorted history that's in these books alive, as much as possible, because they do highlight some things that are not so nice, and very much is watered down anyway. We're talking about public schools here, right? For the most part, right? Public schools, right? So it's going to be watered down anyway. So they're going to get rid of it, and the weird part is, I find it just crazy that these people, instead of just bitching about something, why don't you, like, these people keep bitching about shit. Critical race theory, yes, we know that the system is not for you, it's against you. Everybody, we get it. Like, we've been got it for the past, like, 20 years, 30, 40, 50 years now, bruh. I mean, come on. When are you gonna be like, okay, I know it's not for me, let me do for me and for my people, for myself? Okay, why don't you teach your kids about their real history? And I think that's a problem. I think a lot of these people don't even know their real history. Henceforth, they're waiting and trying to beg White Zadio to allow to keep somewhat of the history that he recorded for them in the systems in the schools that he created for his children and others. You get that? So these people are, this is a clear case of Stockholm syndrome, as well as misinformation. These people don't really know who they are. They're going with these new names, and any other day there's something new, and they make up names, and there's different all types of sets and different people, and everybody speaks. For the most part, these people speak all the same languages as each other, but for some reason there's a division, and they don't know. They don't understand why there's a division. But it's obvious there's a clear mediator, if you will, participating in all this. But then you got to look at yourself in the mirror and say, like, how come I just don't teach my kids their history? That's a good question. How come you just don't teach your own kids that? Don't hit me with excuses. Oh, I gotta work 9 to 5 and all. No, well, if your kids are so important to you, how come you can't take the time out your life and your day to actually teach them what the school systems are trying to dissolve? It's very simple. It's not hard. It's not rocket science. If you really care that much, you would do the work for your children so they can learn off of you and they can look at you as the master teacher instead of some other people who probably don't even care if they pass or fail to be their teacher. So, hey, like, I can break this down all day, but I'm just trying to keep this one short. For the people that are pro keeping this distorted history that we have in these books in school, I understand that you want to preserve a somewhat of a history that you may or may not understand. But I think you're better off teaching your children, your people, your history from their perspective, not from another man's perspective who wrote it in a book to tell you about it. No, why don't you tell the history of your people from you, from the horse's mouth? It's greater that way. Children will respect it even more anyway, especially if it's about them. It makes more sense. Why learn about myself from some European when I can learn from myself, by myself, with myself? Does that make more sense? I understand it. And for those that are pro getting it out, like literally, like we need to get this race history thing dissolved, I understand you too. You don't want to expose everything. You don't want to have your generations of children being disgusted with themselves when they look in the mirror because of the new world we're heading into. Is everything is pop tart, rainbow, dandy, liberal mumbo jumbo. So that ideology of the past and the history does not mesh well with this new one we got going for the future. So it's conflicting, and I get it. You got to get rid of it. I agree with you. In order for everybody to have cupcakes and win trophies, and we all in one inclusive, some ideologies might have to go missing, may have to be erased from history. A lot of things have been erased from history. This one might have to be too. That's my take on it.